What is up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 36 of That's No Moon Pod. Gonna have kind of a little bit of a throwback, random type rant episode. Not too much going on in certain topics that I usually bring up on the podcast, but some cool things have been happening and some cool news has dropped recently. Um, Yesterday, Tuesday, June 27th, to be exact, we got confirmation from James Gunn himself on who our next Clark Kent, Superman, and Lois Lane are. David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan. David Cornsweet as Superman and Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. This David Cornsweet guy looks like Superman just right off the bat. I looked up his IMDb. I don't even know that this dude was in the industry, but you look at the pictures that they put, and right away you're like, yep, this dude looks like Superman. He kind of looks like Henry Cavill, to be honest. But of course, right? Because that's what they're going for. Just if Henry Cavill was 10, 12 years younger, it would probably went to him again, right? But I'm glad this guy not only really looks like what I would think Superman would look like, but he's also a nobody in terms of I've never heard or seen anything that he's been in previously, but this will hopefully take his career into better heights than what Henry Cavill got, at least right away, because I think Henry Cavill got dragged along and you could tell wanted to do more but couldn't because of some suits. Um, so hopefully things go well for David because for some reason Superman uh, isn't too kind to the actors who've portrayed the character. Sadly, such a iconic and meaningful character, not only just in comic books but in pop culture, and not only in America but the whole world. Superman is Superman. Everyone knows the symbol, no matter what language you speak, or that symbol and who Superman is universally known. And it's just crazy how whenever an actor takes on the role, things just don't go as well as they should or as well as you would think, right? Um, but I'm hoping for the best for this guy. Um, Rachel Brosnahan, I think she's kind of the new hotness right now with the marvelous Miss Maisel, a show I've heard good things about, but I've personally never seen an episode of. But I heard she's really good in it, and I heard the show's really good as well. So I think that kind of makes sense to bring her in. She's definitely got the comedic timing that James Gunn is gonna want from his films, and I think she'll be able to deliver. And um, I think she'll actually be the one to kind of come out of all this when their careers are done with the more successful career. If I had to put money on it, um, but I'm excited. I'm glad that they got the announcement ahead of time before it leaked out before Comic Con because I'm pretty sure that's kind of what was going to happen anyways. So they'd rather just get ahead of it and drop it themselves and confirm it. So big ups to them at DC and James Gunn. Um, Now we gotta wait and see who they fill out the rest of the roles with. Lex Luthor. I'm hoping that they get what is his name? He was rumored to be Superman. Um, British actor, the guy that played Beast in X Men First Class. Um, Holt, Nicholas Holt. There we go. Hopefully they get him as Lex Luthor. Shave that fool's head. I think he'll be a cool young version of Lex. Way better than what we got with frickin' Jesse Eisenberg and his whatever that was. Um, Kevin Spacey's was cool for sure. But again, it was like that movie was just kind of whatever, right? And then we all know what happened to Kevin Spacey. But um, yeah, I'm stoked. I'm pumped. Um, Hopefully they announce some more cool things at DC. I think DC is gonna have a big Comic Con this year. They're gonna be able to bring out David and Rachel and uh, have the whole shebang and kind of take over Comic Con because I know Marvel and a whole lot of other IPs and different brands aren't showing up to Comic Con this year, so DC has a chance to kind of really stand out and get everyone hyped again about superhero content, not just movies, but TV shows, animated TV shows, comic books, video games, all that. I think they're gonna bring it, but we just gotta stay tuned. Um, I know there's some Star Wars stuff kind of going on, but I don't really want to. I'm not in the mood to talk about Star Wars yet. Um, I haven't seen episode 2 of Secret Invasion as I'm recording this, but I saw episode 1 last week when it dropped, and I surprisingly dug it for the most part. Um, I was engaged. Um, I'm really liking what Samuel L. Jackson is bringing to Nick Fury, kind of giving us a different take on him, and you could tell he's just as laid back as he always is, as Samuel L. Jackson, just playing a cool character like always, um, but one that you don't want to mess with at the same time. Um, he's all grizzled up, kind of reminds me of him in the Hateful Eight, the Quentin Tarantino movie. Just kind of a version of that, just kind of more of a spy thriller version. Um, the villain is, again, I haven't seen episode 2, but from episode 1, I liked the villain, the British guy's look, and just kind of how he was going about himself in the episode. But it was giving me Falcon of the Winter Soldier vibes. The villains in that show, I really did not like. It took me out every time. I just didn't believe them as villains. I feel like they didn't do anything. I thought U.S. Agent. I thought he was a better villain and probably should have been the main villain overall instead of that flag, black flag, red flag group or whatever they were. And that British girl that was the leader of them in Falcon the Winter Soldier just didn't really do anything. And as soon as I saw this guy in Secret Invasion, I was like, oh, hopefully they don't go that route. But I don't think they do, from what I heard that from people that have seen episode 2, that he's legit. So wait and see. 6 episode series, which I like. It's like a 6 hour movie pretty much. Um, Something to look forward to during the summer. Just get that Marvel fix in before we get to the main stuff. But yeah, I'll let y'all know what I think of episode 2 next week, I guess. And again, going back on a random note, because besides that, one of the things that's happened from last pod and now in terms of the UFO bubble that I and many other people around the world are in. Senator Marco Rubio came out yesterday, again, June 27th, Tuesday, and he went on News Nation, was doing some kind of interview. And if you remember, obviously, from David Grush, the whistleblower who came out a few weeks back on News Nation saying that he knows secondhand, but he knows of people with firsthand knowledge of not only UFO crash retrieval programs, but people hiding knowledge from the public and um, reverse engineering programs with secret government contractors. And this guy, David Grush, was denied access to programs that he should have firsthand knowledge in because he has clearance. And yesterday, Senator Marco Rubio was on News Nation doing an interview to where he says and confirms himself, a senator, that not only David Grush, but there have been many other firsthand knowledge whistleblowers who know and have come forward to Congress with very high clearances and high positions. So David Grush isn't just this one guy who is coming out trying to get a few seconds of fame. Senator Marco Rubio is confirming that David Grush is not the only one, that many other people have come out in private to Congress regarding firsthand knowledge of UFO crash retrieval programs. And these people have very high clearances and high positions in everyday government activities in our country and around the world. So this is just kind of, another one of those, yeah, obviously, right? If you're in the UFO bubble like I am, and probably like you are if you're listening to this right now, um, we've been knowing about this. Um, it's just a matter of time now that we got people like David Grush and people like Senator Marco Rubio coming out and confirming what we've been talking about all along. And it's cool, it's exciting. I think this summer is going to tell us a lot about what's really been going on. If you go on UFO Twitter, a lot of people have been silent that are usually very loud, to say the least. Um, because just the more and more people that come forward to the public on camera, on the record, the faster and better it will be for this whole thing. And it'll just make the whole process easier for people to fully understand that, yeah, not only have things crashed, but things have landed and it's been going on for longer than you would think. And not only have people known about it, but people have been hiding the knowledge from all of us for so long and holding back so much potential in so many different areas of just human beings as a species, technology, health, science. It's all been held back from all of us. And is it just going to be brushed under the rug? And the people that have been withholding this knowledge from all of us, same species, people, right? Same people that put their shoes on, hopefully, put on their chonies, tie their ties, brush their teeth. I heard I forget who it was. I was listening to this podcast at work the other day, and this guy was talking about how when people say, well, if there are aliens and spaceships that exist, why don't they just land on the front lawn of the White House, right? And that's because, according to what this guy says or believes, that's because they've been here and this whole secret agenda that our government and people in these secret contract programs with our military, who's to say an alien species that has landed or crashed at some point throughout time made some kind of treaty or agreement, contract with us, the human race, in hopes to keep this whole thing a secret as much as possible. Because obviously, right, if we believe, which we do, in these extraterrestrial beings, or whatever you want to call them, if they haven't just landed on the White House and made themselves known, it's because they're part of the whole secrecy themselves, whether it's written, handshaken, however you want to think. I can't even imagine what that would look like. If you can, let me know. Leave it in the comments because I'm trying to think, is it some kind of verbal agreement? Do they have a signature on a piece of paper somewhere in a filing cabinet? Or is it something conscious with our minds agreement? Speaking of secret invasion, right? I mean, the whole thing about secret invasion is that there's these aliens from another planet who live among us. You can't tell a difference between them because they look like us. They do everyday tasks, go to work, go walk by them in the store and not even know it. Who's to say that they don't have certain secret positions or not even secret positions within our government and military? And they walk around looking like us, but it's some secret invasion, some squirrel stuff, if you will. I know that's some rabbit hole conspiracy talk, but at this point, y'all, anything is possible, and anything that you could think of, don't just throw it out. Take everything with a grain of salt, but our imaginations can think of some pretty crazy things, but I think there's a reason for that. And again, who knows how much has been withheld from us by these humans and or these non-humans. Um it's probably going to be a shorter episode. Again, not a whole lot going on, but those are kind of the big main news topics I wanted to talk about. Kind of just get my 2 cents in. Um, just kind of trying to stay cool. Um, it's hot AF outside. I live in Texas. I don't know where you live if you're listening to this, but hopefully you're staying cool. But yeah, I think that's all I got news wise. But I definitely need to talk about my Snapchat, my socials. Before I go, please go follow me on Snapchat at admire my moon pie. Um, I'm posting comic books on there every day, full comic books, new releases. And I'm posting the variant covers on my Instagram at admire my moonsalt. So in the description, I'll have the links to all my socials. So if you're into comic books, or you want to get into comic books, but you don't even want to go and buy one on your phone or to a comic book shop, I got you. Just follow me on Snapchat and you could read the whole thing. New releases today, as I'm recording this, June 28th. Marvel just dropped their weekly drops. I got She-Hulk issue 14, I believe, on my Snapchat right now, the one that just dropped today. And I'll probably post another one tonight and another one tomorrow. So again, at admire my moon pie on Snapchat. Go follow me. Like, comment, subscribe. Again, thanks again for tuning in, listening, wherever you are. I appreciate it so much. I got other things coming soon. Hopefully some merch. Um, I've been live streaming on Twitch at Admire My Moonsalt. Been gaming on there. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, y'all. But I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's week. Y'all stay safe, and I'll catch y'all on the flip. Peace.